Hello everyone and welcome to our sixth form open evening at Borlase. Now this would usually be one of those occasions where you would be surrounded by lots of people who have come to apply to our very popular sixth form, quite a crowded event around the school site. This year, like everything else at the moment, is a virtual event, but I do hope this virtual event will be able to answer all the questions that you have about joining the sixth form here. Later on in this film, Mr. Simpson, the Deputy Head, will explain to you how you can navigate our system to do live questions and to visit our different departments so that you can hear talks from our heads of department and ask them questions too if you have them. There's also further information on the school's website and in the sixth form prospectus that you can access on the website too. The sixth form at Borlase is a vibrant learning environment. It's a real privilege to work with bright, highly motivated students who've all come together and are passionate about the subjects that they have chosen. We're very popular, as I've said, so almost all our Year 11 students decide to stay on at Borlase, and we're able to take in about 90 students from all sorts of different schools every year to join us, which adds to that lovely environment of excitement, of people getting to know new people and people developing their ideas together. All our teachers in the sixth form are specialists in their field. They're able to inspire learners well beyond the specification and stimulate their thinking and ideas beyond the work that they study in the classroom. There is a lovely synergy created between enthusiastic students and passionate teachers as they share their research and their ideas together. There is much more to being here in the sixth form at Borlase than following exam specifications and achieving results. However, we are of course very proud of the results our students achieve because they work very hard for them, as do their students. And these results empower them to go on to the destinations of their choice in the future when they leave Borlase. In front of me you'll see the exam results which stop at 2019, and you'll see that over half the subjects were achieved at A*A. And moving forward with the year-on-year improvement that we've shown, I would expect all of you to be able to build on those results as members of the sixth form. And Borlasians go on to all sorts of different destinations. There's no typical Borlasian. Many students will choose to go to university, and that includes Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, Durham, the top universities in their field for their chosen courses. Equally, we have students who will access music conservatoires, dance conservatoires, art colleges, drama schools. And we have students that go on to university in America, in Australia, in Europe. And more students are taking up graduate apprenticeships, such as those offered by the Dyson Academy in Engineering or Deloitte's in Accountancy and Finance, as that's the way that they feel they want to work moving forward, being employed, earning money, and also having training.
The range of A-level choices for students is considerable, and as we are a large sixth form, we can usually accommodate just about any combination you might choose. Maths and further maths are incredibly popular, as are the sciences, English literature and humanities. There is a wide range of practical and arts subjects taught by specialists, including production arts for potential acoustic engineers or equally set designers. Politics, psychology, business and economics are all subjects that you may not have studied at GCSE, but are really interesting, challenging A-level subjects, all incredibly relevant to today's issues. We will support you through our interview process in selecting the combination of subjects to help you move on to your next pathway. But on the whole, we advise you to choose what most excites you. The vast majority of our students follow 3 A-levels, aiming to achieve the highest grades they can, with many of our mathematicians also taking further maths as a 4th A-level, and some choosing an AS in a modern foreign language. In the sixth form, we train you to be confident, independent learners, and we do that through a well-researched programme of support. This includes setting personal goals and understanding what motivates your learning, understanding how to learn most effectively, and being given structure and time to work in private study. Our supervised study in the school's extensive sixth form library has pin-drop silence, as you would expect in any university, and our students really appreciate that guarantee of a silent workplace.
Alongside your A-levels, everyone has tailored support or extension according to their needs. So if you take a look at this next slide, you'll see that there's enrichment and extension built into everyone's programme. The extended project is really highly valued by top universities and enables a student to specialise and pursue an interest of real interest to them. Equally, the weekly lecture series brings in speakers from a wide range of disciplines and professions, anything from geneticists to politicians to environmentalists and many more.
The sixth form's a really special time in your school life because it's the time where you're given the independence of an adult. It's the time where you get to choose your subjects and you're given the autonomy to organise all your study time. And at Borlase more than ever, it's the time when a whole world of opportunities become open to you as a student.
I chose to study biology, chemistry and maths as I hope to study veterinary sciences at university. And one of my main reasons for choosing the sciences would be the relationship I have with teachers. It's rare to have such a good rapport with your teachers in a school as they're so friendly and at ease and have such an open attitude that they've really put me in a competitive position to apply to some of the best universities.
In my lessons through Year 12 and Year 13, I noticed, as I'm sure you will, that my conversations with my teachers became a lot more balanced and I wasn't as much being told what to do as I was figuring out what to do with a bit of input from my teacher, and it becomes a lot more balanced that way, which is really nice. And also throughout your sixth form years, you'll get chances to go into topics that you might have a lot of interest in but may not be on the curriculum. For example, I've always been really interested in the maths and physics behind musical tuning, and I never really got the chance to get into that until my physics gold crest, and that really gave me the time and the reason to go ahead and research it, which I really appreciated.
The opportunity to complete an EPQ was really exciting for me and helped me broaden my understanding on my choice of subject, zoonotic disease, which is a disease that can be transferred from animals to humans, and in most cases cause endemics, or in the case of COVID-19, a pandemic. And I can claim to be stunningly prophetic, but having the coronavirus happen while I was writing this EPQ only proved to me the need of scientific advancement to help the safety of mankind. Of course, EPQs don't just have to be science. I have a lot of friends who really enjoyed writing them about the arts on subjects like Trumpism, the history of slavery, or even environmental poetry.
But outside of the classroom as well, Borlase Sixth Form gives you the chance to join countless clubs and societies and sports teams, which you'll hear more about later, or to start up clubs that you think should be happening around school. Sixth Form students in the past have organised concerts and scientific discussions and other events, and there's no reason that anybody looking to join in the future can't do the same if you're interested.
As a member of the sixth form, there are opportunities for you to develop skills and experiences to build up your CV for university or for moving into a profession. This might include things like mentoring younger students, working in one of our primary schools, volunteering for local organisations, and leading clubs and academic societies at school. There are many supercurricular and extracurricular activities that you can get involved in the sixth form, or maybe even lead yourself.
The range of extracurricular opportunities at Borlase is rather vast, and it gives you so many opportunities that you may have missed otherwise. I may not have taken dance as an A-level subject, but I still love being a part of the dance department. Whether you enjoy the elegance of ballroom, or the energy of jive and hip-hop, or the skill of contemporary and commercial, there is definitely a club in the dance department that's there for you. I started Latin and ballroom here at Borlase with my partner and have gone on to win awards at places like the Blackwell Tower, and will always cherish the memories that Borlase has been able to provide me.
And the music opportunities at Borlase are equally endless, whether you want to solo on tenor sax or play first violin in an orchestra, or shred electric guitar, or sing a descant in a choir, there's always an ensemble for you to join. I found my involvement in the arts really quite rewarding in that it's kept my school life really balanced, when otherwise it would have been really science heavy. Some of my favourite concerts across the year would have to be Rocktober, Jazz Night, and the annual Christmas concert.
So every year we hold usually every year, now it's a bit different with COVID, but we hold a musical or a typical play, where last year we did An Enemy of the People, which is by Ibsen, and I do A-level drama, but not everyone who did the play does. And it was a really nice time to meet other year 12s, but also other year 13s who had your passion for drama as well. And it was an interesting time to build a good rapport with other people, because you're going to have to work with them for quite a lot of time. But actually it turned out being a brilliant production, and we all really enjoyed meeting each other and getting to know each other, I think.
I was also involved in the play. I really enjoyed it, also because of getting to meet loads and loads of new people, and also to actually kind of be a part of a really interesting storyline, because we did an enemy of the people, which is really relevant in society, even though it was written quite a long time ago.
I rowed for the school. I've rowed here for starting my 5th year. I started in year 9, and kind of opportunities it provides, I find kind of second to none. Facilities here are really good. We have a dedicated weight room upstairs and a large quantity of ergos and watt bikes for training on. Also, we've got the new sports facility being built here, which will only kind of further expand these facilities for us, help us to kind of improve kind of training. Anyone who wants to play sport to improve, whether it's be kind of recreational or kind of to more high performance. Also, kind of the opportunities with the school, training camps. You can travel the country to do races, GP trials, so travel to the country. Just kind of, I feel it provides better opportunities for you.
And a really strong sporting community here is particularly the hockey department, as well as obviously the rowing department. So obviously we have the new sporting facilities, the new Astro and the new sports hall that's being built, and they're both going to expand all the opportunities that we have. So there's more time for lunchtime clubs, break time clubs, and hopefully when the hall is up we'll be able to do more exciting things like indoor hockey, but currently we do play at the local Borlase Sports Club, which is a brilliant pitch, and in the hockey department there are so many experiences and opportunities. For example, in 2018 I went on the South African hockey tour with school, which was absolutely brilliant and an experience I'll never forget. And the coaches here are extremely experienced, very helpful. There are opportunities for one-on-one sessions, small group sessions. If you want to work on skills you want to develop or learn things, then this is a really good department to go into.
I think like Ali touched on, kind of while we GPS hockey and I row, there are still the same other sports favourite schools. We have rugby and football teams, and kind of with the new sports hall being built, we hope to kind of expand our range of extracurricular clubs. There's badminton, basketball, and many more. That's the thing, kind of, if you want to start a sports team. So last year we had some quite keen basketball players, and they kind of had a discussion with the head of the Mr. Duggan, and they kind of from that started the school basketball team. So I think the school wants to be able to provide opportunities for you to participate in sport here, which I think is a really kind of great thing.
One of the unique features of Borlase Sixth Form is a thriving community of academic societies. These are student-led groups of year 12s and 13s who meet weekly to discuss, share, research, extend each other's knowledge, and debate challenging and topical issues. Every day at break times, you can go around the school and see in action at least half a dozen societies being run by sixth form students.
When I came to Borlase, what really stood out to me was the number of different things that you can get involved in, whether that was a school play, but also societies, because there are so many different societies going on and everyone's really enthusiastic about them.
When we first joined Borlase, there was a societies fair where all of the societies, well, most of the larger ones would come together and they would discuss what they do in their society, because there are a lot of different ways you could run a society. You can run it on an educational basis with PowerPoints, you can have a debate basis, or you can have a practical basis. And so they kind of explained to us and gave us little hints of what they do in their societies, and we were able to test them out to see which ones we wanted to go to.
And it was really cool, this society fair, because me personally had no connection to politics at all. The political sphere was somewhat of a ghost away from me, but now I've actually found the discussions so engaging. So we talk about Dominic Cummings, the Whitehall reform, we talk about Donald Trump, and from that I'm actually applying for politics and international relations. So even if you don't do the subject, I've never even thought about doing politics before, you can really get a real sense of the subject and discussion around it. You can even use that as a platform to even grow further and explore it more in an academic sense.
And there's quite a large range of societies as well. Not everything has to be kind of very academic subject based, like we do have the typical ones, but we also have more unusual societies like Film Soc, where they discuss recent and popular relevant films or relevant films at the time. And we also have societies like Japan Soc. But personally, I started up Diversity Society, which I thought was important to give a place for everyone to ask questions about different races and religions, and just to give a talking space, which was especially important when during lockdown, Black Lives Matter became really, really important and prevalent in our society. And so we were able to discuss that in Borlase at Home.
Yeah, exactly. So during Borlase at Home, so obviously COVID-19 pandemic, all our learning went online to Google Meet. And what was really exciting, I found that societies transferred to that. So we still followed our normal timetable, and at break, I would log on, I'd see all my friends' faces through their cameras, and we'd still have these discussions. And you wouldn't think it, but debates there are actually easier to mediate when you can actually mute someone who might be getting a bit loud. So it's just really interesting, and the enthusiasm really comes across.
So at the moment, because of COVID, we're managing year bubbles where we're all in our own years, but societies are mostly available for the sixth forms, so that would include year 12s too. And obviously it's really important for them to feel like they can get involved too, especially because in the next few weeks we're going to be handing over to them. So when we have larger societies, like for example Feminism Society, we have about 40 people who come in. On separate sides, a year 12 side and a year 13 side would stay, so that we can ensure that everyone is safe from COVID, but also able to have their discussions within their bubbles.
Supporting our students' pastoral and academic needs is always a priority for us in the sixth form, and this year, of course, it's been especially important. I work with a really dedicated sixth form student support team who mentor students in terms of their academic work. They provide and listen and counsel students through their pastoral challenges and liaise with parents about any concerns they might have. We also have a careers lead at the school, and the sixth form team, there is a wealth of experience for preparing students for university courses.
So if you're already here at Borlase in Year 11, or if you're a new student who's considering joining us in the sixth form, I hope this film has been useful in allowing you to see the kind of learning environment we have here in the sixth form. It's really difficult to distill everything into a short 30-minute film, but if you do apply, then you will have an interview. I would hope here at school, I would hope that by the spring we'd be able to bring you on site for those interviews, but if not, we would have an online version of the interview to make sure that you've had an opportunity to discuss your subjects and to ask any questions that you might have individually about being here in the sixth form. And that's whether you're in our current Year 11 or whether you're new to joining us. In the summer, we have an introductory week where all students joining the sixth form come on the site to do some lessons and experience what it's like to be in the sixth form, to get to know one another and be set some work to look at over the summer before they join us in September. Again, I hope that you'll be doing that in a non-COVID environment, but if you're not, then we would do what we did this year. We very successfully ran a week-long introductory week online last year, and some students here will talk to you a little bit about how that worked for them. So whatever happens, we will make sure that we keep in contact with you, we'll support you in making your decisions about being in the sixth form.
As everyone knows, lockdown, everyone was online and things like that. So it meant that we could contact new people, get to know them before we met them in the real world, as you could say. But that did actually help because you felt like you could approach people and it was less scary going from lockdown where you weren't seeing anybody to suddenly hundreds of new people. But because we're in this year group bubble, like you were saying, it's quite nice actually, because I feel like you interact with each other more as a year group.
Because even though for especially the new people, I suppose coming to a new school is very daunting.
Yeah.
Even for us who were here, we went from a year of 150 to 250.
Yeah.
So we took on 100 new people, and for us that was quite a shock as well. But by having that online communications beforehand and that time for you to talk to people, it just made it so much easier and transitioned so much smoother.
Because I think everyone was kind of in the same boat after that. Like, we sort of knew people that even if we hadn't met them in person, like when I came in on the first day, I was like, oh hey, I know you, even though I've never met you before. It was really nice.
And I'll also, for me, I came from a school where there's 3 other people in the sixth form from my school, but still I didn't really know anyone here before anyway, so it's just been quite, it's I have been able to be able to socialise and meet people that I've had no contact with before, and the school has made it very easy with that, and I'm very glad for what they've done.
All the very best with your applications, everyone. And I'll now hand over to Mr. Simpson, who will explain to you how to navigate your way through the rest of the evening, how to access heads of department and then ask live questions.
So now you've heard all about life in the Borlase sixth form, it's time to find out and think carefully about the subject choices that you'd make, what you want to study here at Borlase from September 2021. Now tonight, on sixth form open evening, between 6:30 and 8 p.m, the heads of department will be online in virtual meetings to take your questions and explain in person what it means to study their subject at Borlase. Also here, on this virtual open evening page on the website, there'll be a live chat function tonight starting from 6:30 p.m. to enable you to ask questions directly of the head of sixth form and members of the school's senior leadership team. But for now, click onto each of the academic department web pages for the subjects that you're interested in, find out a little bit more, and get ready from 6:30 to have the opportunity to speak to the heads of department in person. Now, how to do that? Click on the academic department's web pages here, scroll down to your particular choices, and then in the A-level section just here, there's information about the specification, about the course. There's a video to watch with an introduction to the subject.
Hello, welcome to Maths at Sir William Borlase's Grammar School. I'm Mrs. Richardson, Head of Maths here.
And there's also a link here to the Q&A session that will be run by the heads of department. There are 4 sessions that will start at 6:30, 6:55, 7:20 and 7:45 p.m. And that gives you the opportunity to visit, listen to and ask questions of a range of different subject head of departments. The link takes you through to a Google Meet, which you can just click to enter and find out more.